Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got a really interesting stack of source material today. It's this incredibly detailed guide, really an operational playbook for local business owners.
Yeah, and marketers too.
Right. And if you've ever wondered how you can make something like a press release do more work for you, this is definitely the deep dive for you. So to be clear, we're not talking about traditional PR today. We're not trying to get our story in, the Wall Street Journal.
Right. No chasing viral headline.
Exactly. The goal there is what? Exposure. The goal of this is something totally different. It's more like structural reinforcement.
I like that. Structural reinforcement.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission here is to figure out how the simple journalistic structure of a press release can be used to quietly, intentionally reinforce a business's local SEO signals.
Yes.
We're basically building an asset that has two audiences, the human who needs real news and the search engine that needs context and location.
And that distinction is absolutely crucial. You can't succeed if you write something that just smells like a corporate ad.
Oh, for sure.
If you want it to actually help your SEO, it has to be credible first. It has to read like a real piece of news. The second, it feels spammy.
Its power just drops to zero.
Totally. But when you get the structure right, and the source guide is very specific about this, you end up strengthening three key areas at once. And you do it without making any wild promises about ranking.
And those?
Authority, geography, and topical relevance. So we have to approach this like a tactical framework. It's all about clarity, structure, and providing, legitimate, verifiable details.
I really like that focus on legitimacy. We're not looking for tricks. We're just stating facts about a business in a way that can be verified. But that does bring up a pretty basic question.
Okay.
If we're going with this local news first idea, what actually qualifies as newsworthy? What if my business just, sells widgets?
Right. You don't need a Nobel Prize announcement.
Yep.
The sources give a fantastic list of these low-key but super relevant topics.
Okay.
Just think about anything that would genuinely matter to a customer in, say, a 5-mile radius. Is the business expanding its services?
Like an electrician who now does smart home installations.
Exactly that. Or are you expanding your service area into the next county? That's definitely news to people there. Or seasonal stuff, like a roofer offering priority storm damage response after a hurricane.
That's huge news.
It is. And the sources say it goes even deeper, like internal updates.
What, like new equipment?
Absolutely. Did you just invest in a brand new, more efficient piece of machinery? Did your team get a new certification that helps customers?
Or a community partnership sponsoring the local kids' soccer team?
Yes, all of that. It shows the business is active, it's growing, and it's part of the community fabric. We saw an example of a septic service company. They wrote a legitimate press release because they bought a new fleet of vacuum trucks with better filtration. And that was news because it directly impacted their service quality and environmental safety.
So the test is really simple then. If a local customer would reasonably care about this, it qualifies. It gives you a legitimate reason to publish something.
That's the litmus test.
Right. So let's talk structure. The guide is very specific about length, 500 to 800 words. Why so precise? Why not shorter or longer?
Well, that range is critical. It's about how distribution platforms work and also how Google looks at content quality. If it's too short, say under 400 words, it just looks thin.
Thin content.
It doesn't have enough meat on the bones to prove it's a real announcement. And a lot of platforms won't treat it well. But if you go too long, over 800 words,
you risk losing focus.
You get redundant, and you might actually dilute the very signals you're trying to send. That 500 to 800 word sweet spot gives you just enough room to set the scene, drop in the location signals, execute the link strategy, and provide the business info without any fluff.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, this length helps make the asset feel focused and authoritative. It lets you reinforce who you are, what you do, and where you do it, all in plain language.
Plain language that works for both people and algorithms.
Yeah, okay. Let's build this thing from the top down. First piece, the headline. This isn't just a catchy phrase, is it?
Not at all. It's the very first signal of relevance and location. It has to be clear, professional, and news-focused. And crucially, it must have a natural geographic reference.
Like the example on the guide. Athens GA Tree Removal Company expands emergency storm cleanup services.
Perfect example. The geography, Athens GA, is right up front.
And I notice what's not there. No exclamation points, no best, no cheapest.
Exactly. You're writing like a newspaper editor, not a used car salesman. It's all about that high-trust editorial tone.
Then comes the subheadline. This seems to just add another layer of context.
Yeah, especially for a business that might serve a few different towns or counties. It adds clarity.
The example for the tree company was local provider increases response capacity across Clark and Oconee County. So again, more natural geographic context, not just a list of keywords.
And then you have the tiny but mighty dateline.
Ah, I like that.
It follows the proper press format, but its real value is as another strong local signal. It literally stamps the release with a location marker. It's always city, state, month, day, year,
Athens, GA, October 26, 2024, something just like that.
Simple, but it's a non-negotiable part of proving you're local.
Okay, moving into the body, we start with the opening paragraph, what the guide calls the orienting paragraph.
This is your elevator pitch. It has to quickly and cleanly answer the classic questions. Who, what, where, and why. This is where a human reader and an algorithm figures out what this is all about in seconds.
And that leads right into the real meat of it, the service and location context. This is where you elaborate on the what.
Yes, and the rule here is critical. Any mention of cities, counties, or neighborhoods has to be completely organic to the story.
So you can't just drop in a list of towns you want to rank for.
Oh, absolutely not. That would kill it.
Yeah.
But if you're a heating contractor announcing service in a new town, you can naturally talk about why the residents of, say, Smyrna will benefit from your expanded service. It has to be woven into the narrative.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. We're moving from just good structure to like very specific strategic execution. The outbound link strategy.
Yes.
The source material is adamant. Exactly 2 intentional outbound links. No more, no less.
It's surgical. This isn't about just getting any old backlink. We're using these 2 links like targeted arrows to help define what the business is.
So let's break them down. Link number 1 is about contextual relevance. It points to a service page.
Correct. The anchor text should be the main service keyword. So for a contractor, maybe it's emergency plumber or kitchen remodeling.
And the destination is really important. It has to be the most relevant service page on your site. The guide even says if you have a geo-specific page, like emergency plumber in Memphis, TN, that's the absolute best target.
It is, because the whole purpose is to connect the news announcement directly back to the high authority page on your own website that proves you do that thing in that place.
Okay, now for link number 2. This is the one that I think really sets this whole strategy apart. It's all about entity reinforcement.
Yes. If link 1 is about what you do, link 2 is about who you are. And for this one, the anchor text is non-negotiable. It has to be the business name.
The exact business name as it appears on Google.
The entity name, yes. And the destination is hyper-specific. You link it directly to your Google Business Profile share URL.
So why the GBP? Why not the homepage?
This is what's so fascinating. You're leveraging Google's own internal system of trust. I mean, think of your Google Business Profile as your business's official birth certificate online.
Okay, I like that analogy.
So when you link your exact business name from a news source directly to that official profile, you are definitively proving your existence and identity to Google's own systems. It's like showing your ID.
And the sources are really clear about not using old, clunky URLs like CID or MID numbers.
Right, because those are internal identifiers. They can be unstable. The public-facing share URL is the clean, official link. By connecting the business entity to the official profile, you just massively reinforce your legitimacy and local trust.
It makes perfect sense. And the placement is strict too.
Yeah.
Link 1, the service link, early on. Link 2, the entity link, later in the release, maybe in the boilerplate. And you don't repeat them.
Exactly. This is about signal quality, not link quantity. 2 surgical links are infinitely more powerful than 10 spammy ones.
All right, let's touch on the media elements. The guide says if the platform allows it, you should embed media, specifically a YouTube video and a Google Business Profile map.
You should, yes.
But why does that matter so much? I mean, it's just a third-party site showing a Google Map widget. How does that carry any weight?
That's a great question. It's because Google owns both of those properties.
Oh, of course.
By embedding assets from YouTube and Maps, you're reinforcing your claims on their own turf, using their own tools. It creates this powerful cross-confirmation. A YouTube video that mentions the business and location is one signal. The map embed is even better. It visually confirms the physical location you're claiming in the text.
So you're basically forcing Google to cross-reference its own data against the news article.
That's a great way to put it. You're using their tools to confirm your identity.
Okay, so that covers media. What about this citation level stuff, the non-negotiable details?
Right. This is where consistency is everything. Every single press release has to include accurate and consistent business information, usually right at the end.
We're talking about NAP consistency, right? Name, address, phone.
Exactly. Name, address, phone number, website URL, city, state, ZIP. Maintaining that identical formatting across your website, directories, and every single one of these announcements is so vital for local authority. Any small difference, like Smith & Son's Plumbing versus Smith & Son Plumbing, just introduces uncertainty.
And this structure is designed to eliminate that uncertainty.
Completely. It provides a clean, clear, consistent signal every single time.
And finally, you wrap it all up with the boilerplate, the standard About Us section.
And that boilerplate has to be concise, factual, and most importantly, consistent. It's your standard little summary of who you are, what you do, where you do it. It's not for new information. It's just the final confirmation of the business's identity.
So what does this all mean then? I mean, pulling it all together, the best practices seem to be write for real people, reinforce your location naturally, and treat this as a guide for creating unique, high-quality assets.
And understand what it is and what it isn't.
Right. This is not some magic bullet that's going to drive tons of traffic overnight. It's a supporting foundational play.
That is the ultimate takeaway. A properly structured press release is a hybrid asset. It's part news article, part citation, and part authority signal, all rolled into one. It works because it reinforces all three of those key areas, authority, geography, and context, all at the same time.
It's a really smart, almost stealthy approach. You're announcing legitimate news that your community might actually care about, and by following this framework, you're also giving the search engines the exact context they need to trust your local footprint.
You're giving them verifiable truth in a highly structured format.
Which brings us to our final thought for you. We've established that consistency and natural local context are the keys here. So if a business really committed to this and applied this rigorous structure to every public announcement they make, not just the big ones, but small service updates, a new hire, anything, how significantly does that constant, quiet reinforcement change the perception of that business's local identity over time?
The compounding effect.
The compounding effect. Think about that as you structure your next announcement. Thanks for diving deep with us.